Hi Gemini, so welcome to your reading for September. I hope you all are doing well. So we're going to tune in for this energy. I wanted to actually record your reading yesterday, but that was just I don't know what was going on in the collective, but it wasn't happening. Okay, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna just sit this one out, and I'll show up again tomorrow. So here we are, the day of the full moon in Pisces. So basically, your 10th house energy, maybe that's why I need a little bit of a day or a couple of days to sort of gather your thoughts and gather how you feel about things and how you express yourself about it, right? And get those two a little bit more in alignment. Overall, some of you may be a little bit frustrated with some delays or certain things just not moving forward. It won't be a long period of time. I feel like it will be in a short period of time where things actually start to get to movement. Don't feel I'm not going to tell you how to feel, but try and not get too frustrated with the process, because it's the part of the process is what I'm hearing, and things will soon move forward. They're trying to give you this time and space to look at things from a different perspective. Okay. Well, Mercury is about to go, yeah, actually tomorrow, today, depends on where you are, but it is definitely about to actually start to go retrograde. We've been dealing with this shadow period, and I don't know, but I feel like Cancers and Geminis are mostly really, for some reason, affected by the shadow period. I don't know. This is something that I just always feel in Cancer and in the Gemini collective. I'm a Cancer myself. But I also always sense it with the Geminis. Maybe because, we're sister signs, so I'm just saying. I don't know, but what I wanted to say was Mercury is going retrograde, and there have been construction outside of my window the entire week. So this is what we're dealing with. Okay, so I hope you guys the mic won't pick up on it too much. But I can't delay on recording these. I mean, honestly, we blink twice and September is over, because that's kind of sort of how this year has been going so far. So let's just focus on what we got going on. You have the 5th house energy activated during this Mercury retrograde for the biggest part. And then it moves back in a sign, of course, and then it is your 4th house, so the 5th to the 4th. I'm sensing that there will be sort of you will be able to sort of build a bridge towards what's the solution that works, what's the thing that your mind sets you to do. It's like, okay, we got to get it done like this. We can't be emotional about this. We need to be practical. We need to look at it from a different perspective, especially my Gemini moons. But I'm sensing like this, instead of building a bridge, it's almost like building a wall, and that wall kind of only captured, things become very limited in that space, and I feel like creative energy flow really gets blocked by that wall. I mean, the wall has a purpose, but there could be a bridge, and that kind of sort of connects the two sides with one another in a healthy way, still separate but yet connected. That's what I'm feeling when it comes to Mercury retrograde for you guys. You if there's a delay, you're being guided to look at things from like a creative way, like a different perspective. And when you get those insights from a different viewpoint, and the situation being the same, but you feeling different towards the situation because you're capable of looking at it differently, it will start to make a lot more sense, and you also will receive some clarity and guidance from that perspective. So that's what I just wanted to lay out on the table to begin with. Let's pick an oracle card. I like to start with a tarot these days, but I also, for you guys, I just want to ask an oracle card to come in. When I was I always like draw down a list of all the signs, and then a little bit, what's going on with the signs. But with you, I actually draw a sun for some reason, like it just came out. So I always do automatic, like, drawing and writing and things like that. Oh, I don't even notice doing it. But with you, it was the symbol of the sun, meaning in some reason I feel like you're opening up, and that more playful, adventurous energy comes forward. But at the same time, I'm also seeing like, oh, you're seeing clearly, like you feel this wall is coming down, and here you have this whole, light coming through, and a much more clearer view into the distance is what I'm seeing. So you also have the card, you are not alone. So you are being protected, you're being guided. I'm seeing that there's a spiritual team working on your healing. So there might be something that you're healing. This could be something that happened recently, but also it could be something that recently came up based on something that happened years ago. So sometimes a trigger arrives in our here and now, and we are kind of confused, like why am I overreacting like this, or am I overreacting? I don't understand why I'm feeling so strongly about this. And then you read into the situation, you meditate on it, or you have conversations about it, and maybe some truths show up for something that was always meant to arrive in the future, in order for you to put a close to that, and not carry that around on your daily basis, not make decisions or react or respond from that old hurt. So that's something I'm seeing, like someone is really like working on your healing. You see, putting back trust and faith into your heart, love, openness, honesty with yourself first and foremost. And that candle, for some reason, like it's almost like, a light goes on. Let's like make a wish, what I'm seeing. So make a wish, Gemini. Where do you want things to go? So let's see. I feel like when it comes to making a wish, it has to do with how, based on feelings, some almost like a wish to have more inner peace coming towards this area of my life. I wish to feel openness surrounding my heart and allowing people to come in. Like it's that's an energy I'm feeling, like a wish connected to what you would like to reflect to you on the outside based on how you feel about it on the inside. So that's something I'm sensing. Now they really are doing the most with this whole construction outside. They're saying we are here for you, and we have never left you through all the sadness, loneliness. However, you cannot sense us near you or feel how much love we are sending to you, Gemini. We are your family, your friends, and your guides. You never walk alone, and we will walk right beside you. All right, that's beautiful. That's so beautiful. All right, before I jump into the tarot, I'm going to take a little break and see if they're going to stop with the whole noises outside, because I don't like it to distract me this much. So you guys won't even notice, because I will just, edit this out. So, all right, I'll be back, Gemini. All right, so the noise stopped for now. Let's hope it will stay that way, because I've got a lot more readings to do. All right, let's jump into the tarot for you. What does the tarot has for my Geminis? I feel like the mic is quite low. That probably is better. Okay. Here we go. 8 of Wands. So what I'm sensing with this is that you are coming out of a space where you were there, still definitely out there in the world. You were still there in public eye and things like that here and there. For some of you, public eye, like, on a higher scale. And some of you, you were showing up. You were part of certain parties or things, and, gatherings and stuff like that. But at the same time, you were emotionally not really out there. You were just kind of sort of participating into whatever was going on. You were showing up, but you weren't really expressing yourself. There was a part of you were kind of keeping in hermit mode to yourself, not really communicate about. And I feel like at one point it was just hard to sort of combine the two. But I am sensing that you're working your way to building the bridge between both sides, so you can actually have both sides coexist, not mix and mingle in each other or have a whole wall between it, but like have a bridge there, so you can tap into from one side to the other and keep it like sort of a clear-headed space. Like you can see clearly what's an emotional side and what's on the practical side, and how to sort of combine them both. Keep a balance, what I'm hearing. So the moment when you get this clarity, I'm really sensing that you are then coming forward with it. So something that maybe you weren't really ready to show up in the world as, you weren't ready to show, you weren't ready to share, to embody almost. For some of you might have to do something with your sexuality, like something you kind of kept to yourself, but here you are stepping out in the world, taking down that wall and actually, sharing it, or actually expressing yourself about it, or in any way, shape, form. It doesn't have to be your sexuality. Once again, I'm just giving a, because it's something I am sensing in the collective, but it's not for all. Just once again, something you're ready to, now step into. And once you do, you're like honestly out there. Okay, you are not hiding, you're expressing yourself, you're sharing it, you are definitely showing up as. With the Eight of Wands, you're sending it out to the world to know. I don't know, if some of you it's announcing a pregnancy, it's like finally, you're expressing yourself about it, and it feels good. It feels like a relief almost, but also it empowers you, because I feel like maybe that wall between you and actually sharing and showing yourself in that way with people outside of your circle, inside your circle, maybe even, it also felt like a limitation at the same time. You were kind of feeling trapped by it. It was almost like having a weight on you, and you feel that weight lifted. So it doesn't mean that weight didn't have a purpose and it didn't take you somewhere, and then you should have gone underneath that weight earlier. No, it was about the journey and what you gain from it, and how much more of a empowerment comes from releasing that weight and breaking down that wall and building that bridge, right? So very powerful. Okay, what else coming up for my Geminis? Ooh, yes. Okay, now we have the Ten of Cups. That's beautiful. That is definitely beautiful. It's like I said, for some of you, it is actually sharing. You maybe actually found someone and you kind of kept it to yourself, and maybe it is also a mixed family situation. So that person might bring a child in and you bring a child in, or vice versa. Or vice versa, it's the same thing. I'm sorry. I mean, you could only bring kids and the other person none, and vice versa. Okay, it doesn't really matter. It's all about mixing. Maybe it's mixing cultures and things like that, but it actually makes you very happy. And I feel in some way, shape, or form, you might wanted to keep it safe from the outside world because you didn't want any outside opinions on it. But I'm sensing that you're sending out this frequency. Anything that wants to sort of attack it holds no ground, is what I'm hearing. It holds no ground. Okay, so you might be ready to actually express yourself about feelings and emotions you might have with someone. And for others of you, it's just feeling emotionally, once that weight is lifting off your shoulders, often then we realize how much it actually had a weight or a hold on us, right? So I'm sensing that you go from almost like hermit mode. Yes, you're aware that you could be feeling better, but once you do, it actually is beyond your imagination of how good it can feel, because you jump into the Ten of Cups. With the King of Wands here, the Five of Swords, the Eight of Swords, Ten of Wands, and the Knight of Pentacles. All right. So I'm sensing that what comes up with opening, breaking down that wall and opening up, maybe this could be something to do with a love connection, love relationship, romantic interest, but it also could be something different. All right, so keep an open energy and try to apply it to whatever area is going on in your life, because what I'm sensing is that some of you might have been dealing with a very narcissistic boss, manager, co-worker, or some business partner, right? Like it was equal, like 50-50, but then someone did some shady shit behind your back, and that really put your guards up high. It was because they were down, because you were trusting that person, because you were opening up in that way, that it hurt that much, or it got to you in that way, and that built, that entire wall up. So I do understand that why you ended up with that wall or that lack of a bridge in the first place was definitely because on the outside something came and caught you by surprise. And this could have been recently or a little bit further down the line. But what it did was really real. Like it was almost like, and I feel like maybe some petty energy came from that side as well, like just emotions and things like that, not really knowing how to coexist with those feelings and emotions. So your other twin came out and was like, all right, you want to play this game? I can play this game. But then, the other side of you still needed that comfort. Okay, I'm gonna shuffle one more time because that was not, this is a real fallout. You have the Ten of Swords here with the Knight of Pentacles. So you are closing this door towards the situation because once again, that will also sometimes results into self-sabotaging behavior. And if you're not allowing certain people to come close, yes, it keeps you safe, but at the same time, it also robs you of all these beautiful other emotions. And on top of that, you're not willing to let anybody help you out, whether that is a physical act, like helping you move or something before we go there, or it is just emotionally talking you through things or anything, being there for you, listening to you, expressing yourself. And it's like you're also robbing yourself of those experiences that actually could be helpful. So there's a lot of healing to do. You come from very far. But at the same time, what happens is that you get a realization on what role you played in attracting people like that into your life. I'm not saying like, oh, you really wanted to attract that and that's what you manifested, so that what you got. No, I would never put it in that way, because it's not as simple as that. But there could be certain, lack of self-love, self-worth and value, and then we vibrate with ourselves on a certain frequency, and then other people in that frequency come to us and kind of sort of mirror that behavior back to us. And the thing is that it's important to see what role you play in your connections, whether that is business, friendship, family, love interest. Like, it is important to analyze those things, because once you are aware of those things, you can actually be conscious about changing that, right? And that is what that inner work is for. It's like, how does it come that I over and over attract these type of people, and what are they bringing to my door, right? Like, why is it that I feel connected to these type of people, or they feel attracted to me? And how can't you like build a bridge between us and really analyze it without feeling like there's a blame game or you're doing something wrong and that's the whole reason why. No, it's not your fault. It's not anyone's fault. I'm just saying, like, how can you use this knowledge moving forward and having this healthy, connection with yourself, with your emotions, but also with your other side, with both twins in alignment, feeling both heard and seen, and also you and other people. Right? There's a mutual understanding. Okay, so that's a lot of work, but definitely is going to pay out. Like, it's going to pay out, like, big time. Because that's, very important part of life. You have the Knight of Wands here. So I feel like you're on the move again. Okay. It's almost like you were the King of Wands. It's like, you still are your playful self, but at the same time you're trying to do it from like one location or like one energy, and it was just not enough for you. But you were telling yourself that this was all that you could do right now, when I feel like you're back on the move. Like some of you are literally on the move. It's like, I'm just going to do this and that because you know what? It does bring me more inspiration to, work on those other things. So I don't know, some of you are literally on the loose again. Gemini on the loose. With the Magician here as well, yes, very beautiful because what we were just talking about and that work that will pay off are those tools that come to you, and you can use those tools to re-empower yourself. This was all about self-empowerment, and that's what you're doing. So you're definitely conscious about manipulating energies. So they could come up in a person who's trying to manipulate you into helping them, whether that's financially or in whatever way, shape, or form. A little bit of an emotional manipulation, but you're reading right through it, and you're making them conscious and aware. It's not that I don't want to help you, but I don't want you to make it so that I don't have any other choice but then to help you. And it's not even from my own free will anymore. It's like really open, honest conversations. And people are just here, they just need to listen, even though first they might be a little bit on the fence, but you're like, I see this clearly. Let me take you and show you what is really going on and how we can heal and make this whole situation more healthy for you, but definitely also for myself. So that's what I'm saying. You see, these people are like, I'm not sure what you be talking about. You're like, no, I ain't playing games, all right? Like, this is, no. And here these people are like, but, no. You see, it's like, see it not playing. I don't know if you could see it, her facial expression says it all. So a commitment, but the thing is, look how good that makes you feel, because obviously love is that's your card. That's why I'm like, this is you. But it's more like an energy. The 7 of Pentacles. And also it's like you're not showing any, you're not sweating. Okay, that's something that I'm really seeing. Like once you set your mind on something and you are deciding to have those conversations, to talk the talks, right? Making those decisions, you're not sweating, because these people out here all showing their emotions and stuff with their hand languages and their, how they're standing and stuff like that. She's not even sweating. She's just like, no. No, thank you. 7 of Pentacles, 2 of Swords to the 3 of Pentacles. So you're definitely way more in alignment with how to gain. No, I don't want to say gain. I'm sorry. How to thrive in your community again. Because I feel like you are such a community person, Gemini. 1 second, I'm taking a sip. Like you are, whether you are a loner, a hermit, very introvert, very keeping to yourself. Still, people feel, connected to your energy such a way where they are just looking at how you live your life, and you're still inspiring people from that angle. I'm just saying you are a community person, because you are really good at creating small collectives and actually giving everyone a purpose in that role, or a role and a purpose in that group. It's not that you're being bossy, because you don't even need to take the lead. You just naturally have the lead. It's just a natural thing. I mean, honestly, a lot of people always focus on Leos having that naturally, but I feel like Gemini's, with your energy and with the way you come forward, it's just a natural thing, a natural ability you possess. But if you're not trusting your own lead, other people will most likely not trust it either. That's why that connection with yourself is very important. What I am seeing is that you're putting something to rest that stands in between you and really showing up at yourself in an inner circle, in a family, dynamic, in a group of friends or colleagues, work, because you're like, what you want to put the rest is to the overthinking. and you just want to be in or out. And when you're in, you want to be yourself. You don't want to question their intentions. You just want to be able to take your role and feel good about it. And that's what I'm seeing that's coming in, because communication needs to be had, will be taking place, and it's been long overdue. And a lot of times, when it comes to Mercury retrograde, a lot of people are scared of like communicating and stuff. It's not about what you say, it's just consciously how you're saying it, what your intention is, what you're doing, what you're saying. It's just key. And not expect too much from other people instantly jumping on the right side, and sometimes they just respond from an emotional standpoint. So that's just being conscious about that is key. But with the death card here as well, it's like you're putting an end to this sword energy. The swords are not nice to you. No, a little bit too much. We have green tarot. See, supreme protection. You are protected. Cords are being cut. Move beyond limitation and trust. Wow. This card definitely connects to your reading, because this is all the key points that we've been talking about, Gemini. You are protected in the first place. Then cords are being cut, and that has a lot to do with those swords. That those leeches, things can hold on to you. This could be a past experience and how you feel about it, how it makes you look at yourself, how someone is treating you, how they have been treating you. Cords and being cut. Nobody is going on a Gemini train if they're not absolutely welcome and coming with the right intentions and the right outfit. Okay? Just saying now. That's the thing. Trust this. Trust. Trust in yourself, but trust in your protection. You have a very highly divine protection, Gemini. All right? I think that's it. Oh, I forgot that I'm 19 minutes in now, but I also had already 7 minutes on the other part of the reading. You're getting a longer reading, Gemini. All right, I hope that this was helpful for people who are listening. I really love and appreciate you guys being here. And I will be back soon, all right? Bye, Gemini. Have a lovely month.